Dr. Kalmadi, maybe we can start if you could just introduce yourself and talk a little bit about when did you start care and what was your journey with care?
Yes, I'm a doctor of Western medicine, and I was practicing Western medicine for almost 25 to 30 years. And I passed out from Kasturba Medical College, and I joined my father's practice. And I was a very hardworking, staunch doctor. But I was always not very happy about prescribing antibiotics and steroids because of the side effects. So I was always dabbling in other forms of alternative medicines like Ayurveda, homeopathy, Chinese medicine, yoga. And that's how maybe I stumbled on Ayurveda and yoga. And of course, how I started care was that I had a very uh, sort of very fast-paced lifestyle. I was playing a lot of golf and a lot of drinking at the end of the day. And though I worked hard in my clinic the whole day, so I justified myself I need to relax at the end of the evening. So maybe this increased so much that it started telling on my health. And that's how slowly I had a self-realization that I must quit this lifestyle. And also at the same time, I had a lot of patients who were suffering from ailments of overdose of alcoholism. They had cirrhosis and other things. They were suffering themselves. And I used to advise them not to drink, not to have this sort of lifestyle. And I always felt I was a fake, I was advising them, but I was doing the same thing. So one day I just gave up everything, alcohol, smoking, non-vegetarian, and transformed my life. And as soon as I did this, I found that some divine spiritual things were happening to me, and gurus entered my life. And the first person I met was Dr. Nair from Kerala. He used to come here, and he advised me some courses of Panchakarma, and I underwent those courses of Panchakarma, and I really felt good after that. I felt so transformed, and now I was very excited. I said I must pass on this knowledge to others to use it in my uh, healing practices to treat others. So at that time, I had a farmhouse, which was actually my party place, and this is what I transformed into a health center. So I started with 4 rooms, and then now it is almost we have 20 rooms. Over the years, it developed uh, into what do you call a health farm.
Retreat, the house farm, yeah.
Retreat, yes.
It's an amazing place, I have to say. The natural beauty of it is incredible. And how did you get into the yoga part of it? And when I was in care, I saw the video how you met, BSK,
Yeah.
KS, sorry, Iyengar. How did that meeting happen, and
Yes.
how did you get into
Actually,
Iyengar?
actually, when I started care, yoga played a very small part in it. We just had a yoga teacher coming and who taught yoga, say 2 or 3 times a week. Till one day, one of our guests made a remark that your yoga is just a tick mark. So that I was really touched. It pricked me in my heart, and I said, I must do something about this. And luckily, that's the time when actually Guruji entered my life. He came to my place. He was looking for a place to celebrate his 80th birthday. And I was very fortunate to meet him. And that was the beginning of a long friendship with him. And so, of course, my place was too small for him to celebrate his 80th birthday. So they chose another place. And where later on, I was doing a course in Ayurveda at International Academy in Pune. And I met a Japanese girl who was a yogi. And she said, look, I would like to go to Guruji's 80th birthday. So I just showed off to her, don't worry, I know him very well, I'll take you there. And I took her and went for the celebration without a great crash, I must say. But you won't believe it. From far, he saw me and he started waving out to me. So that he was that sort of man. Once he met you, he knew you, he liked you. He's really, it was a great friendship we had throughout all these so many years.
I am
And
very curious. On his 80th birthday, what did he eat and drink? You know.
oh, it was rice and lentils. That's all. And after some sweets,
Yeah,
sweets.
amazing. Amazing.
Yes.
And but so how did you get into that particular yoga? And
Yeah. So, uh, after I knew him and I didn't go to the institute at all after that. But one day when somebody made this remark, I felt that I must do something about yoga. So I happened to meet one of Guruji's very ardent student called Mr. Nandu Pawar. And, he said, "I'll take you to Guruji. I will." So he was a very dramatic person, and he took me to Guruji and said, "See, Dr. Kalmadi has got major problems. He's got a backache. He's got a neck pain, and still he's not coming for yoga." So Guruji literally caught me by the hand. He took me in front of the class. There was a class of 120 foreign teachers going on, and he took me in front of the class. And I thought he's going to introduce me as an eminent doctor or something like that. I was very thrilled. But then he told the class, this man has all the deformities possible. And the whole class was stunned. And of course, I had a lot of problems, like I had bow legs, then I had a very bad back, neck. So he told his students, some of his close students, to bring some belts. And he corrected me right from the legs to the top. And the whole class was dumbfounded the way he, adjusted me. And that is the beginning of association with him, which I had with him till I passed. He passed away in 2014. So almost 2004 to 2014 was a relationship with him, where 2 or 3 years I almost spent. I was living in the institute, practicing with him from 9 to 12 in the afternoon. Then we were in the library. Then there would be a medical class from 4 to 8 in the evening. And we were about 4 to 5 doctors. He loved to teach doctors because he said you can really convince the people how these yoga therapies work. That's how I came to know him. And I invited him to inaugurate a yoga hall in 2004, where we actively are doing the yoga therapies, as you have seen for yourself.
yeah, absolutely. I have to say, for me, the biggest mind-opening moment was when, I've been to yoga practices before in Europe and here in Lisbon and London, and it's always full of quite young people, I would say, really well dressed and all really bandy, and it's beautiful to watch, but you feel totally useless because you cannot touch your feet, and then after a couple of classes you feel so bad about yourself you don't go again. Whereas when I entered your class, first striking difference was to see old people. I saw, I think, in your class somebody who was as old as 84 years old doing, maybe not backstand, but some of them were doing backstands, but really really going into the poses, and the way they were helped and the way they were just really pushed to the limit of their own ability. That was really beautiful to see, and I want you to talk a little bit more about the younger yoga that you are teaching, which is, you call it medical, right? And why
Yes,
why do
Iyengar Yoga.
why do you say it's a medical one? It's not just a pretty, meditation. It's really, it feels like it's a medical practice.
See, Iyengar Guruji, maybe it was Providence when he came. He was actually, I don't know his story. When he was 14 years old, he suffered from tuberculosis. And the doctor said he will not live more than 2 to 3 years. And his worried father sent him to his brother-in-law, who was known as T. Krishnamachar. He was a yoga teacher to the king of Mysore. And Guruji went there and he really worked hard. And when he came to inaugurate our yoga hall in 2004, he said it gave him a bonus of 70 years. That's how powerful yoga is. A man who was pronounced by a doctor that he will die within 2 to 3 years, he took it up to yoga and he lived for so long. He lived up to 97. And that's a great innings. And he was always healthy and full of life, and he did so much for the others. So this is very important. What I try to tell in my yoga practice, what I teach to people, that you can do your yoga every day, 1 to 1.5 hours, and be away from disease. Make yourself fine. And a lot of my friends, they ask me, anyway, we all going to die one day. Why do yoga? I said, look, I know what you're saying. You're going to die one day, but let me tell you, you're dying every day with the fear. But when you start doing your yoga, you learn to live fearlessly. You know that you're doing a strong practice, all the poses which you're doing, and you are very healthy. You're always so confident, and you're not afraid of, ill health, because you feel very healthy and very nice, even mentally and physically. That's the important thing, difference between doing yoga and not doing yoga. There are many other forms of physical exercises, but there's nothing to touch yoga. And Guruji, he was lucky that when he came to Pune, he met a doctor. I think his name was Doctor, I'm not sure, Godbole. And he told him, Mr. Iyengar, you concentrate on medical part of the yoga, how to treat people, how to make them better, how to prevent diseases. So that's what Guruji did in his receipt. Initially when he started in Pune in the 40s, he used to go home to teach people. He used to go on his scooter. He had a very tough life. It's not easy. He established his center in 1975 only, and took a long time for him to establish his center. And he took up to medical yoga. So that is what catapulted him into international fame. And of course, the first time he was internationally became famous, he taught Yehudi Menuhin. He was a conductor and a violinist of international fame. And then, of course, at the same time, he also taught headstand to the Queen of Belgium. She was wearing long skirts, and literally he was holding the skirts up. All this catapulted him into international fame. And he started going abroad more often to UK, USA. And then also in his practice, he realized only mostly ladies were coming. So he said, how to bring the men there? So he also added on to do vigorous type of yoga, like he started the sun salutations and more vigorous forms of jumping during the standing poses. So all this brought more people towards yoga, and he really revolutionized yoga. Because I'll tell you an example. When he started yoga, many of the yoga poses were done very differently. Like in triangle pose for Trikonasana, your legs were parallel to each other. And he was a man, when he wanted to do it on the right side, he decided to open up his legs. Right leg was pushed out. And then, so he evolved a lot of poses in a very superior way, which he has passed on to his.
And there's a what I realized, there's a real specific sequence to it. Is there, what is that, the one that you teach, right, in the medical Iyengar?
Yes, I'll come to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll come to that.
Okay, sure. But
Yeah.
maybe you can tell us more about, you know, what type of Iyengar yoga is taught at Care itself, like
Yes.
and how is it different from, I guess, other types of yoga? Because I mean, for somebody that doesn't know much about yoga, I know that there's you hear a lot of different names, but what is it specific to our younger? Why, how is it different, I would say?
See, actually, in Iyengar Yoga also, as I said, there are two different forms. One where the rapid jumping and all. And then there's the next form, there's a medical yoga. And this medical yoga, Guruji imparted to very few teachers, very top teachers who were allowed to come into attend this class. So normal medical class in the Iyengar Institute happens in the evening, 4 to 8 o'clock. There are two batches. And when there are people of, say, maybe 50 to 60 class, so, and each teacher is assigned 5 to 6 people, they diagnose their problem and they are given a medical sequence. So what I thought when I started yoga in um, Care with Guruji's consultation offer, Guruji helped us to evolve our program because we have a medical batch in the morning, 7 to 9, and another batch in the afternoon, 2 to 3. So this is what formulated by him, and we are lucky that he sent his most senior most student, Mr. Shah, to teach at CARE. So we are very fortunate. He was there for 10 years. He taught all our therapists, doctors, and that's how we have carried on the tradition of Iyengar Yoga till this day. We are fortunate to be blessed by him. So as you said, that this medical sequence, what we follow, is a medical sequence which addresses all the tissues and all the organs in your body. So when you go through this, so this happens in the morning 7 to 9. So when you go through this, all your parts, and it's not only it's also a form of detoxification. See, a lot of food you ingest overnight, all the sort of the hormones or the additives, the agents which are in the food, and these are expelled by the body as toxins. And these toxins overnight come and collect in the spaces around your torso, your liver, and the spleen. So when you're doing your daily yoga, especially the standing poses, you're massaging these organs, you're obliterating these spaces, and you're actually eliminating these toxins. So when you eliminate the toxins, you're eliminating the disease process, as simple as that. So first thing is, first and foremost, you'll remain very healthy when you do Iyengar Yoga. And then we go from sequence to sequence, like we start with the standing poses, which also helps in preventing replacements of joints. This is very, very important. Makes your joints very strong, your bones and your tissues strong. And it makes you go, Guruji always said, it makes you superhuman. So we give a lot of importance to standing poses. Then we go to twisting. Normally, these twisting poses are done on the floor, for which you have to be a very good practitioner. So he taught us to do it on the chair. So you have to be very proficient to do it on the floor. And he taught us to do it on the chair. Or first is we do the chair sitting Bharatvayasana, chair standing Marichasana. And these are very important poses because it helps you again detoxify. It rejuvenates your pancreas, rejuvenates your kidneys, and overall your abdominal organs, and you live a healthy life. It's as simple as that. Then from there we go on to the back bends. So Guruji was one of the few teachers in yoga who really gave a lot of importance to back bend, and he discovered the Viparit Dandasana bench, where it's a curved bench where you sit on the, you lie down on that bench, and when you're in this pose, your heart gets elongated, and thus your coronary arteries get flushed. So Guruji used to call this yogic bypass. So if you do this every day for 10 minutes, you can prevent a bypass surgery, you can prevent angioplasties, as simple as that. Plus, it's very good for the back also. And then we move on to the inverted poses. Like he gave a lot of importance to handstand, the headstand, and the shoulder stand. So the headstand, when it is done at least 3 to 5 minutes every day, you can prevent a stroke. It's as powerful as it. You can prevent a stroke, prevent Alzheimer's, prevent Parkinson's, prevents dementia. And then this is again followed by the shoulder stand. And he again made it easy by teaching us to do it on the chair, so which you can hold this pose easily for 10 minutes. And here what happens when you're in the Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand, all your hormonal glands are regulated. All your hormones are regulated, and it's especially good for the ladies. It takes care of you right from menarche to menopause. And it's very, very important. I always tell my daughters, if you don't do anything in a day, at least do 10 minutes of shoulder stand. And that's real lifesaver. You can extend your life by 10 to 15 years, and you can prevent many forms of cancers and other diseases, which are become so prominent nowadays.
Absolutely. It's so interesting. I remember when you were doing the teaching, you were saying that when the inverted pose, think of yourself as a jar of honey, right? With the sediment at the bottom. And then when you turn yourself around, this hormones and stuff, they really rebalance all over the body. And I have to say, my own personal experience, just because it's exactly what you're saying, I'm 47 now, and for the last 2 years, I was really thinking I'm entering the premenopause because the periods were all over the place. Sometimes nothing there for 3 months. Sometimes it was all over the place for the last 2 years. And then I came to care, and literally they started again. And now it's been 4 months, and it's like clockwork. So for me, that's a huge benefit because already there was, bad sleeping, poor sleeping, a little bit of hot flashes, and all of that has really normalized. And I feel like it put me back 5 years back, which
Yeah,
is incredible.
that's good. Nice to hear that. I'm
Yeah,
happy. No, this is what encourages me to go on. The transformation I've seen people who come to care. I'm really amazed and pleased to carry on with it. This has given me
yeah,
moral courage to go on. Even during the, this lockdown and other times, we still
yeah.
kept at it. And now we're happy to know that more and more people are coming. The old guests are also coming back. And, it's very
Oh,
nice to see
absolutely.
them again.
And the kind of people I met at your place were also amazing, like from Bollywood actresses to CEO of big banks and stuff like that. And you think like, come on, they coming from all over the world, and there's plenty of yoga in the places where they live, but yet they come for miles and miles to your place. So you're definitely doing something very, very special. And can I ask you, what other kind of advice on daily practice you would give people, like how to follow it when they go home? Like obviously you teach them a good sequence, but what can they do when they get out of
Yeah,
your
so like
care?
when I always tell people to cultivate your own practice, not depend on a teacher or a class. I know it's very difficult, but when you leave the place, we give you a video which you can follow easily. And if you're with us for say 15 days, uh, it's easy to pick up if you're young and if you concentrate on the practice. It is easy to do at least half an hour to 40 minutes of the because you're using so many props, so it becomes very, very easy. So I always tell people if you don't have a place to practice at home, when you go back home, find a nice cozy corner in the house or a balcony, bring in all your old furniture, and then start enjoying your practice. You have to start somewhere, and start enjoying it and see what happens when you depend on a teacher or a class. So suppose the teacher doesn't come or the class doesn't happen, you missed your practice. But here, when you start depending on yourself or your partner can help you to go up in the poses, and I think that sort of thing is what I'm trying to encourage people to be able to. Even our teachers, like Guruji was very particular. He told me that he'd always told his teachers, never touch a student unless you do your own practice first. And I remember when I was in the medical class, and there was a teacher from a foreign country, and he was limping, and Guruji was very pained, and he said, "Look, this guy is a yoga teacher, top yoga teacher in that country, and he's making so much money that now he has no time to practice, and he's giving me a bad name because he's limping." So it's very important to do your own practice. And that's what he always told everyone. And he himself used to do every day. His practice 9 to 12. We all used to do around him. There used to be around 120 people around him. And he, in an inverted pose, he'd be correcting people. It was amazing the way he used to do his practice. I have not seen anybody else doing that sort of practice and being a practical example to the people. This is more important, being a living example at that time. It was great. And that is what inspired me today. Even today, when I go, even when I travel, I carry my mat. And I, even in a hotel, or wherever I am, I do my practice every day. And that is what has kept me going, I feel. And as I told you, it helps you to live fearlessly. As simple as that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you and all your clients that I have met, it was really super, super inspiring, and as you say about Guruji's self-practice, it's very, very important to practice what you preach. And what about sort of other lifestyle changes? Because obviously in care, I think what was super powerful is that you really feel enveloped in total care, right? It's like You do
Yeah,
your yoga practice, your diet is taken care of, you have daily daily consultations with the doctors, and they adjust the kind of treatments that you take on a daily basis, depending on how you feel that day, which was incredible. Like, could you tell us a little bit more about the other things that
yes,
goes around in care that
yeah.
apart
You
from the
see, I'll
yoga?
tell you one thing. There's a tremendous combination between
Yeah,
Ayurveda and yoga.
yeah,
These are all, both are old sciences. Actually, yoga takes the internal help to keep health, maintain health, whereas Ayurveda use the external means to maintain the health. But this combination is tremendous, which has helped us over the years, because you'll find that many other health resorts are there, but they'll be purely Ayurvedic. Yoga is just done just for the sake of doing yoga. But this combination of Iyengar medical yoga, the strong practice we do, is great. And even afternoon yoga is very good. Afternoon yoga, people call it sleeping class, but actually it's a very powerful yoga, because when we do the Virasan, Supta Virasan, followed by Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha. So in Virasan, what happens? All the blood flows out of the muscles. You sitting in that position, and this helps in purifying your bone marrow. So Guruji always said, so if you're doing this Virasana every day, at least half an hour, you'll never get osteoporosis. As simple as that. You'll not get cancer of the bones. And when you sit in Baddha Konasana, the Indian cobblers, they sit in that position. They have that instrument in between their legs. And they did a study on the cobblers in India, and they found they did not suffer from kidney problems at all. So these are very useful um, sort of benefits of doing these poses. And these can be done in the night when you're watching TV or you're meditating or sitting on a laptop. So you get a bonus of another 1 hour of yoga, just sitting and in those positions. So this is also very good benefit we got from Guruji, that both forms of yoga were included in our treatment plans. So what Panchakarma we do, that is greatly benefited with the yoga that we do at our place. And then, of course, we have added meditations also. Nowadays, we are increasing our meditation. So it's an overall um, uh, sort of plan for well-being. And we have included nature walks and different types of walks, plan. And of course, as you said, diet is very important. The Ayurvedic diet itself is so simple to follow, because Ayurveda is the only science which says that people are different. Like if you say Western medicine, you're given the dosage also by your body weight. But Ayurveda is the only science which recognizes that people are different, like the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. No two people are alike. They have different body constitution. So the food and the diet plan is given according to the body constitution. What is nectar for somebody may be poison for somebody else. So this is a basic difference between Western medicine and Ayurveda, which we have taken into account, and our doctors try to explain the diet to you all. It's very simple, easy to follow, and it's very practical thing which you get all the ingredients abroad. And I think it's a very nice combination that we have, the diet, yoga, and the Ayurveda.
and again, bringing it to the normal person back home, what do you think diet and lifestyle changes would you recommend when one practices, well, first of all, practices our Iyengar yoga, but also just in general to carry on the benefit of care? What changes would you do?
No, like now we are seriously thinking of. I'm happy to say my daughter who's in USA, Poonam, is planning to come and join us at CARE at least for a few years, and we are planning to have an app. We're thinking seriously of having an app where we can follow with our guests when they leave, and see the follow-ups can be done with them, and we can advise them. So this is something we are trying to take it to a new level, and I hope it works out. And this is what, because anyway, I'm a old timer. I'm not good in all these modern things. So the new generation takes over. They will be able to introduce uh, this thing. I'm sure that will really help benefit our guests more and more. as they can keep in touch with the our doctors here who can guide them. And that'd be very good. I'm looking forward to that, excited. And now, of course, latest we are thinking of doing some retreats abroad in Europe and all. As you know, it's Portugal. We are thinking of the first one. So this also will be able to help us keep in touch with our guests who come regularly to care.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, yeah, as you mentioned, we are helping you run the Portuguese retreat next March, and we really hope that at least the European clients that maybe used to come to you before COVID, right, that they can remember how good they felt and come back and reintroduce themselves to this amazing care. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna also maybe if anyone has questions, please you can unmute your mic and ask anything.
Hi, I'm Sudhir. I'm right now at Care and listening to the conversation. I've been here several times and I really enjoy the stay. But quickly, a question that this conversation I want to share with my family and friends. Would it be available to share on internet or somewhere?
Oh,
It
yes,
can be.
absolutely. We're gonna send you the all the participants will receive a link afterwards, and please share it as much as you.
Absolutely. So this is enlightening actually to know quite a few of these things are not aware. A lot of people are not aware of the combination of yoga, Ayurveda, and Ayurveda, of course, is a entire science in itself. But the power of yoga, a lot of people don't know when it's combined with Ayurveda. So that's something I want to share with a lot of people. Thanks.
Please, for everyone that would like to receive the link, if you could share there is a chat in this Zoom meeting, and you can just put on the chat your email address, and then I will share with you the links afterwards. I actually have a question from somebody that texted me before because I couldn't join, but they are very interested in what kind of difficult, Dr. Kalmadi, what kind of difficult cases you have treated at Care, like misalignments or diseases. What was the most interesting or surprising outcomes and benefits?
Yes, I would. It comes to my mind now that we had a case of a doctor, practicing doctor, who came to us with a very bad case of sort of fits. Fits. What do you call them? The fits. Epilepsy.
Epilepsy, right? Yes.
Yeah, and he was in such a bad shape when he came to us that he was in a drowsy form, because if you reduce the dosage, he would immediately get a fit. It was so bad. And he was so scared to reduce the dosage. Then he came to us for 3 weeks, and we really took him through these motions of Ayurveda, yoga. And he was, of course, a very hardworking student. And after 3 weeks, he became totally all right. He gradually reduced the dosage. And end of 3 weeks, he realized he didn't have a single fit. And today, after 3 to 4 years after that, he's been doing yoga regularly. And he being a doctor himself, he is a GP in a place called Vijayawada in Andhra Pradesh. And what he started doing was started getting out at 4 in the morning, started doing his practice, especially the inverted pose. And then he got an idea, brainwave. He started calling his patients also for practice. He said, "You come here." And that's how he started healing a lot of people. And today, the same man, he's running Olympics. Sorry, not Olympic, marathon. He's running marathon. Yeah, and very successful. He's coming second or third in all the events which happen there. And he's absolutely fit. I wish I had a photograph of him. I could have shown you his photo. He's called Dr. Srinivas Rao, and he's from Andhra Pradesh. And it is the biggest story we have. And after that, a lot of people he recommended, they are coming for epilepsy, and we are getting good results with them. And then another second case I would like to share is this lady. She may not like to take her name. She's in London. She came to us with multiple sclerosis in a wheelchair. And we are able to make her, she came for 3 months. We are able to make her walk at the end of the place. She went back to her work. She's a sales manager in one of the department stores in London. And she's still working today and she's doing her yoga every day. That's all. She's not taking any medication, nothing. And she's absolutely fine. I see her on Facebook. I keep saying, we keep communicating. And after that, she came, of course, a few times, but she's not come for the last 3, 4 years. She's not. But I'm in touch with her and she's doing very well. So these two cases, I would say, are miraculous results we got. Of course, there are so many other cases, like people tell us, ki, this is the only place where I get the results. Like simple thing, like I get results here. So these are things which encourages me to go on and on with my what I'm doing right here. And of course, now with my daughter coming, I'm with our doctors also nowadays. I'm happy to know the doctors are very dedicated and they are doing a great, tremendous job. Because they are the backbone of the whole organization. And our therapists, of course, our therapists who help in the yoga hall and give the massages. All these are they are all angels, I would say, angels sent by heaven who treat the people here.
Absolutely. And I would say it was also very amazing to see that all your therapists, and they're actually there as well doing the yoga poses and stuff, which is, and walking barefoot on the ground. They really also are getting the energy of the place and passing it on to everyone. It really felt very special. And I have to say, I miss it already. I can't wait to come back.
You can always come to Portugal.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, that's why, a couple of us who've been coming to care for a long time, and we really wanted to spread the word, and that's why we are running this retreat in Portugal. And again, I will, together with the link to this conversation, I will send you the link to the Portuguese retreat next March, in case it's just exactly the same care concept, and the same people the team will come and travel to Portugal. It's just a different location, and maybe for some people, like my parents, they would love to experience it, but maybe going to India is a little bit too far for them. So it's nice to be able to. Yeah, this has been fantastic. And does anyone else have just gonna check if there's any questions on the chat. Yeah. Maybe one more question, actually. I'm just looking at our, we also have a little WhatsApp group. If you guys want to, you can join and you can ask questions through that. But basically, one more question is like, how do you feel, like, if I don't have the 40 minutes, somebody is asking, what can I do? And let's say, what are the 3 or 4 major poses that I should do literally every day?
As I said, most important is the Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand, that you must do every day 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So say if you have about half an hour with you, I would say do a quick. We also teach you at our place Express Yoga. So we do the quick standing poses, one on each side, standing poses, then quickly do twisting on the chair. And then maybe you can do a little back bend on the chair. And then go to quick handstand, headstand, and shoulder stand. And then we can go more and more into relaxation, Viprit Karni and the bridge pose and the corpse pose. So I'm sure you can do this in half an hour to 40 minutes. Good sequence. It should be good for you.
Mm-hmm.
It should be very effective and helpful. And even if you do it every day, 40 minutes is, I think, put all your heart and soul in it and do it. It'd be good for you. And maybe in the evening, you can do 20 minutes of the afternoon pose, 10 minutes of each. That will help you tremendously.
Yeah. And actually, the same person is asking, he heard you talk about this bypass, the yogic bypass.
Yogic bypass, yeah.
Could you explain a little bit more? How does it work? And
Yeah,
how?
it's very simple. See, when you go into the back bend, your heart gets stretched. So when the heart gets stretched, the coronary arteries get flushed. So all the plaque and all the obstruction in the coronary arteries is like cleaning a pipe. Suppose you have a water pipe which has got a lot of mud, and you pull it, pull and push, all that muck that goes away. It's as simple as that. So this is a very useful way of doing. Not only that, even if you have enlarged people who have enlarged heart, so with this pose, it stretches and brings back the heart to normal.
Mhm.
It can really bring, when it stretches, it can bring the heart together. Even people who have bad valves, valvular problem, it tightens up the valves with a simple exercise of stretching the heart. And
Mm.
even is good for the lungs, even the lungs expand. Because most of us don't use our lung capacity at all. We are, so this helps in, especially we realize during COVID time, it's good to have a good lung capacity. So this will help you even in expanding your lung capacity. Plus tones up the back, good for your back.
Yeah.
So you'll never have back pain if you do this. The this back bend, that is Viparit Dandasana on the chair or bench, and twisting or followed by twisting is good for you. And
Yeah.
nowadays I've been advising older people to go in. Suppose you cannot do on the chair, you feel you cannot do on the chair, to invest in an inversion table. If you are very senior people old, inversion tables are very simple where you can tie your legs down. You can even do it with shoes and then slowly take yourself up, and you can hold the pose for, and you can do it yourself. You don't need help. So that is what I'm nowadays recommending to the senior people or people who find it difficult, like people with Parkinson's and other who find it difficult to do it themselves. This is something they can easily do. So I'm nowadays thinking of this sort of contraption. Like you must have seen now headstand contraption also. It becomes
Mm.
very easy for people to do a headstand. If you have that box, you can just
Yeah.
put your shoulders on the thing and just jump up. It does
Absolutely.
half the work is done by that.
And
So
I
these
think,
are type of
yeah, absolutely. And I was just saying that I think we also need to post on the chat I think on your Facebook and also on your Instagram, you're going through some of these poses, right? So people can look through your
yeah,
Instagram and
yeah,
find some of them,
yes.
and so they can really recreate them at
And
home.
the combination of headstand and shoulder stand can prevent a heart attack. So
Really well.
this combination of poses, and then of course I forgot to mention our best pose is the one called Supta Padangustasana, where you lie down and put your feet against the wall and use a belt to raise one leg at a time,
Mm-hmm.
stretch the leg. Remember that exercise?
Yeah, yeah,
So this helps in preventing sciatica and any chronic back pain. Very good for this. This is another good pose you should do every day.
yeah,
If you have chronic back pain or sciatica pain, you should do it, say, maybe 2 to 3 times a day.
yeah.
This is another useful pose which you should add to your practice every day.
Absolutely. And also one of my favorites was the beauty pose, which reduces your
Ah, yes.
chin,
Yeah. Yeah.
That was also
It
very,
even works for people with big jaws, people who
yeah,
have beer jaws, and
yeah,
even men start looking very handsome after
absolutely.
they start.
Absolutely, because a lot of people just always working on the computer or on the
Yeah.
phones and stuff, and we always bend forward, and we really there's so little, even in games and stuff. There's so little, and when you go to gym, it's always like this, like it's you kind of going this way, and you need to unbend your body the other way. I feel like that was the biggest
People are you
thing.
people are used to gyms. We for them we have morning sun salutations where we do rapid 12 sun salutation. So this helps you in if you're looking for weight loss or more fitness. So that is something we do. And people who find it difficult to do on the floor, we ask them to do on the chair. So this is something you can do at any age, all these poses.
Yeah, yeah,
And you can do it because a lot of people tell me, oh, I used to do this when I was young. But this is something you can do it till the end of your days. You
yeah.
can keep enjoying your yoga practice and extend your life. And very easy. This props invented by Guruji. Interestingly, Guruji at one time was known as a furniture yogi. because he had to do so many, so many
Yeah.
props. He was so
But it's
very
great
impressed.
because you really feel like you're supported, so you can really push yourself into the pose much more,
Yeah,
and relax
yeah,
about not falling down, and you
yeah.
you relax into it. I feel definitely. Sorry, somebody else, Sally. I I think
Anybody wants to ask questions?
yeah.
Dr. Nityandi, any questions?
Actually, I have one more.
Yeah,
You mentioned the losing weight, right? And obviously nowadays a lot of people with their lifestyle and stuff would love to lose weight, for mainly for health reasons. Some obviously for looking good, but a lot of people really feel with age they are becoming more and more immobile, and the weight, like carrying a couple of kilos more. How do you think what are the cases that, again, like what are the best cases that you had, and what is the average weight loss in, let's say, 2-week panchakarma program, and why because honestly for me personally it was in 2 weeks it was 4 kilos. If I were to try it with diets and stuff, I've tried it before, I could never achieve this result. So but I heard that you were mentioning there were even some greater results in that. Could you
yeah.
share
Our
some?
record is nobody believes it. It's 28 kilos in 28 days.
Unbelievable.
But this man used to work very hard. He was very fat. He had a lot of water content, maybe. And he came determined to get rid of his weight. He was an income tax officer from Calcutta. But he would walk every day 10 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
He would walk up to, Mr. Paradise Cafe, Mr. Bedi's restaurant. He would walk up to there and back every day without fail. And at the end of the 28 days, we weighed him. He was 28 kgs gone. And
Amazing.
I myself was shocked. And I can even tell his name, share his name, Mr. Bakaya. I
Mm.
lost touch with him. I don't know where he's now. And he was a very jovial person, and we had a great time with him. And there's a time also Munmun Sen, the actress, was there. And so it was a good, fun type of
Mm.
times those days, and it brings back nice memories to me.
Yeah.
But of course, 10 kgs is very common. 10
Really?
kgs in 10 days, 12 days is quite common. But as you said, 4 to 5 kilos is a definite. It's We can guarantee it, I think, 4 to 5 kilos. And a lot of people I see that they also lose weight without doing anything much. So it's the detoxification that helps also. A lot
Yeah.
of the water going out, toxins going out. But it's
Yeah.
encouraging because see, I see the results within 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies who come with little, overweight, and they start looking beautiful because all that chiseled, with the original beauty comes back.
Yeah.
It's revealed. It's revealed like a mask being taken out, and that really inspires me, and it encourages me to go on.
And but why do you think what makes such an amazing result in weight loss? What is it what is the trick here, so to say?
No, as I say, it's the combination. It's the panchakarma, it's the yoga, it's the nature, it's the diet, it's the air, it's the blessings of the gods or whatever. So it's all the place itself is magical.
Yeah.
So see, my biggest problem is bringing a person here. Once I bring a person here, the transformation happens.
Yeah.
So my biggest challenge has been convincing people to come here,
Yeah.
and stay here. So because we had cases of people running off after 1 or 2 days, because first 2 3 days are very tough. If you
Yeah.
go through those, you must have experienced the same thing. First 2 3 days you go through, then everything falls in place, and then
Absolutely.
everything goes on smoothly. And we
Absolutely.
had people who stayed even 3 months. We had a case of um, rheumatoid arthritis, Spanish lady. She was here for 3 months, and I'm happy to say she learned Hindi, but
Mm.
our therapist could not learn Spanish. She learned
Amazing.
Hindi.
Fantastic. No, that's yeah, the results are incredible. And as you say, it's a combination of everything. And that's why we also really want to spread the word. And that's why we're doing these webinars to really educate people a little bit more about the great work that you do. And I really hope that people will also join the retreats, either come to India or come to Portugal next year, and really experience the benefits of this.
All are welcome.
Very special.
We can have fun there. We, of course, will add some new things there, new therapies.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Kalmadi. That's been an amazing chat, and we have recorded it all, so we're gonna post all the links, and all the best, and we'll speak to you super soon. And look out for the next webinars. We're gonna continue the series every couple of weeks, so we'll have more chats. Thank you.
Thank you very much for attending. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Alicia, for giving me the opportunity to.
No,
Thank you.
you, and continue the.
Thank
good
you so much. It was a good lecture. Thank you.
Varun,
Thank
for
you.
attending. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavna.
Bye.